We live in a rapidly changing world. Swift advances in technological innovation, demographic changes, rapid urbanisation, shifts in global and economic power, resource scarcity and climate change are all rushing forward with tremendous force to reshape society. Many of us are being confronted by the widespread and unpredictable interruption to the certainty of our safety, security and structures that is posed by these longer-term megatrends, as well as the crisis of the more immediate COVID-19 pandemic. Describing the journey from yesterday to today to tomorrow for many is suddenly an unfamiliar daily struggle. Yet we know we can't afford to be left behind, no matter how difficult our present circumstances may seem. We want the best for our families and for our communities. We know there is a volume, pace and intensity to our times that require all of us to respond to change readily and willingly. We know that the jobs of the future will require our children to be equipped with the knowledge, skills, character and learning habits of new competencies. We also know that our existing systems of education are not consistently providing the education for character, competency and wellness that are needed in this new world environment. We are using too many well-intentioned but outdated approaches to learning. We're bolting these on top of a model that's simply not fit for purpose, no matter how hard our teachers, students and families work to make it so. At the same time, many of us can see through the challenge of the present day into a future where the possibility of something better is rapidly being drawn into sharp focus. Everyday life means navigating through complexity towards the future, being ready for the interruptions that are being imposed on us, and also enjoying the good fortune with which we are blessed. The opportunity is there to do something great, if only we can all agree on what it is and how we might reach out together to make it happen. We're living in a moment of historic importance in education across the globe. Too many of us in schools have been held back by systemic paralysis. Our days are too full. The requirements seem overwhelming. We've been trying to fulfill expectations for tomorrow using yesterday's model. We've ended up educating by learning, living, leading and working without being able to truly feel for and respond to our new world environment. The current crisis is a tipping point, not just for the rise of digital education, but for the entire education system. And emerging from the great pause, the great realisation, whatever you want to call it, are our COVID children. For the education of our COVID children and all those that follow, we now need a new understanding of our purpose, our people, our place and our practice. We need a new social contract for education. Over recent months, we've banded together as pioneers to overcome uncertainty in our new world environment. We have moved beyond that model of education that many of us suspected was broken. We have discovered that we can do what we need to do and that we can do it differently. In doing this, we've revealed our enduring qualities of compassion, of diligence, of relationship and of innovation. And we've been building new communities of inquiry and practice, bound together by care, by character, by collaboration and by creativity. So what we might have once imagined to be impossible is now happening. We are stepping around the barriers. We are imagining a path forward. We are transforming education. We are becoming true game changers. So, as we think about what might come next, we have three big choices to make together. First, we can choose to go forward. We can be a school for tomorrow. A school for tomorrow builds the character, competencies and wellness that will allow students to thrive in their world. To create this whole education for a whole person, we don't need to be perfect or even exceptional. We need to be committed to growth and to being the best version ourselves that we can be so that our students can become the people they need to be. We need to muster our self-efficacy, how well we organise the dispositions and capacity of our whole being to meet our challenges. We also need the adaptive expertise to make the most of the opportunities that are presented to us and to create new solutions to our challenges. To build a school for tomorrow, we don't have to go back to how things were. This doesn't mean throwing away everything. It does, however, mean questioning what we do and making decisions to ensure we are fit for purpose, that our vision matches our intentions and actions. We need to walk the walk of an education in which we cast aside broken models, adapt what we have in place, or retool from the ground up and create today's learning for tomorrow's world. So as we go forward to become a school for tomorrow, we can make a second choice. We can choose to follow a better way of doing school. We call this The Way. The Way is an evidence-based and research-driven approach to education that prepares us to inspire, challenge and support our children to live, learn, lead and work with success in the new world environment. It recognises that improving outcomes for more learners comes when we dedicate the whole work of a school for tomorrow to the whole education of every one of our children. It helps us to design and deploy this education to help learners let go of their childhood and rehearse for their adulthood on a wide field of incremental encounters with excellence and immersive learning experiences. The Way is about providing the journey of discovery that helps our students to gain the adaptive expertise and self-efficacy that will give them the character, competency and wellness to thrive. For us to go on the way together, we need to know what's important. We need to model excellence in the character and competencies that are being learned. That's aspiration. We need to take our learners on a journey of encounter, connection, challenge and discovery. That's experience. We need to collaborate as teachers, mentors and experts to become the co-authors of the narratives of our students' learning journey. That's agency. We need to help them to discover their own identity and how best to express it through their learning and relationships. That's voice. And we need to engage with the time, support and conditions that will help us to make the most of their learning. That's resource. This journey of encounter, connection, challenge and discovery on which our students will acquire the character, competency and wellness to thrive in their world is what we call the pathway to excellence. It's a natural developmental process of asking questions and seeking answers over time that helps our students to learn the self-awareness of knowing themselves through asking, who am I? To live in relationships built by earning their places through asking, where do I fit in? To lead as a servant who goes on a journey from me to you to us through asking the question, how can I best serve others? And to work vocationally and find their calling by asking the question, whose am I? This journey of becoming for students can be measured against their individual and collective experience of gaining mastery of a set of 6 graduate outcomes that families and educators want for students all over the world. They want their children to be educated to have the integrity to lead meaningful lives as good people, to have the ability to manage complexity with authenticity as future builders, to grow and transform themselves as continuous learners and unlearners, to provide sustainable direction to the world as solution architects, to balance the local, the regional and the global with perspective as responsible citizens, and to work well in relationship with others as team creators who bring success and fulfillment for all. So as we go forward in pursuit of a better way to do school, we can make a third choice. We can choose to help our students to pursue the pathway to excellence. Our map of the experience of schooling must help our students chart the possible journeys towards their graduate outcomes and the acquisition of character, competency and wellness on the pathway to excellence. The measure of a school for tomorrow is therefore defined by how well it uses the way to build and embed a framework for education that personalises, aligns and integrates encounters with character, competency and wellness in the learning journey of every student throughout the whole school. We can judge our success as a school for tomorrow in the end according to who the students are and what they know, can do, believe and how they learn. If all things are as they ought to be, their strengths will come to the fore in their learning, living, leading and working, and allow them to both leave their mark and to measure up in terms of their sense of belonging the fulfilment of their potential and their propensity to do that which is good and right. They will also have passed on to others what they themselves have found on the pathway to excellence. It's time to choose to go forward. It's time to choose a better way to do school. It's time to choose to allow our students to go on a journey of discovery that will give them the character, competency and wellness to be a generation of happier, healthier and more confident young people who can truly thrive in the new tomorrow of their world. It's time, game changers, to choose a school for tomorrow. Let's go.